Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to study the third unit of income tax, which is clubbing of income and setup of losses and or carry forward of losses. So first we will study about clubbing of income. So here what is happening? First I will give you a short introduction about this chapter. So in this chapter what happens is like basically the problem what is the problem, why this chapter has come. The problem is tax evasion. Many people try to escape from the payment of the tax, and how they escape, sometimes they transfer their amount to some of their relative, friend or minor child, just to escape the payment of a particular amount of the tax which they are liable to pay. So the income tax department has come up, like the finance minister has made this provisions, has put forward these provisions due to which the people cannot escape from the payment of the genuine amount of the tax. So what happens, I'll give you an example. We all know that the tax has been revised, the norms regarding the tax has been revised. So due to that, if our income is less than 2 lakhs, okay, then we do not have to pay any tax. But if we have our income more than 2.5 to 5 lakhs, up to 5 lakhs, that means we have to pay the tax of 5%, and so on. You can see the chart. So I'll explain with an example. Suppose Mr. X, he is earning 7.5 lakh, okay. So he is supposed to make a tax payment of 10%, that is 75,000. But this man thinks, no, why should I pay such a big amount, huge amount as a tax? So he tried to find out the ways to escape from the payment of such taxes. So in order to do this, what he does is he transfers the amount, like his total income is 7.5 lakh. He transferred this amount to his minor child, to his wife, and shows like they are earning, not on behalf of, like if he has 7.5 lakh as his income, he transfer 1 lakh to his wife as salary. Suppose he's working in a firm, okay, and he's having substantial interest in the firm, and through that he's getting 7.5 as his salary throughout the year. But what he does is he also he starts showing that his wife is also working in the same firm, and he transferred the amount of 1 lakh to his wife, showing that she is earning salary or any other head, which is a manipulation. I will explain how it is a manipulation later on under various sections. So this is the way, this is how people try to escape from the payment of the genuine amount of tax. So and the provisions has been made under the section 60 to 65, which tells us that in case any manipulation is done by a person to escape from the payment of tax, then in such a case, whatever amount he has diverted to the various member of his family, that is his spouse or his minor child, major child, or any other relative, or his friends, in such a case, all the income which he has diverted will be added back to the income of that particular person. That is, adding back of the income diverted is known as clubbing of income. Okay, we have to add that income back, whichever he has diverted, to escape from the payment of the tax. So we'll start now. With each and every section, you have to keep in mind. I'll tell you also the short keys by which you can easily keep in mind what are the sections and the provisions of each section. So first we will discuss about section 60, transfer of income without the transfer of asset or property. So see, suppose Mr. X, he is doing a business and he's earning 3 lakhs out of it, okay. He is also having a house property, okay, and her wife, she is earning she's also doing a business and earning a profit of 1 lakh, okay. So basically this is Mr. A and his wife, both are working, and Mr. A is earning 3 lakhs whereas Mrs. A is earning 1 lakh, okay. And Mr. A is having an house property of 1 lakh. So his total income throughout the accounting year, and that is financial year, will be 4 lakh. So he is supposed to make a payment of 4 lakh, means he has to make the payment of 5% tax to the government on 4 lakh, but he don't want to do that. He want to exempt from the payment of huge amount, like it, that is 4% of 5% of this will be 20,000. He don't want to make the payment of that. So what he will do is, he is trying to divert this income, that is income from house property, to his wife. He just simply transfer the income to his wife, okay. And then what happens, his wife total income becomes 2 lakh. Still this lady is not liable to pay the tax, as her total income is below 2.5 lakhs. So there will be no tax paid by Mrs. A. But Mr. A, after he gives away 1 lakh amount to Mrs. Mrs. A, that means his total income which he is disclosing is 3 lakh. On 3 lakh only he will be paying the tax of 5%, okay. That means he is paying 15,000 as a tax, right? So actually he was supposed to make a payment of 20,000, but he is making payment of 15,000. So 5,000 difference he is trying to escape by transferring this amount to Mrs. A. But so here the government has made the provision that okay, this can be done. You can divert your income to your spouse, but you should not only divert the income, you should not only divert the asset, you should not divert the asset. So house property is an asset, okay. And so he's diverting only the asset, but he's not transferring the ownership, okay. Transfer without the transfer of ownership, transfer of so he's transferring, also he's just transferring this house property, the income which is earning through house property he's transferring, but he's not transferring the house property, okay. So in case he's not transferring the asset, only income is being transferred, in such a case the amount diverted will be clubbed back. So if I ask you, like, how much amount Mr. A is how much amount of tax Mr. A is liable to pay, then your answer should be he is liable to pay 5% of tax on 4 lakh, okay. You should not say 3 lakhs, because he's just transferring the income generated, not the asset, okay. He's not transferring the house property, he's transferring the income from the house property, all right. So here the keyword is under section 60, that he is just transferring the amount, the income, not the ownership, okay. He's holding the asset, that means the ownership lies in his hand, okay. So when no ownership is transferred, then in such a case the amount which is diverted will be clubbed back with the amount of the person transferring the amount, okay. So here there is two term I would like to discuss about, Mr. A and Mrs. A, okay. Mrs. A, here Mr. A is said as transferor, okay, transferor, and Mrs. A is transferee, okay. Transferor means the person who transfers or divert anything, asset or property or the ownership, okay, or the one person receiving it, whatever is being diverted, transferred, the person who is receiving is known as transferee, okay. So you can read this, it will help you, it will bring you more clarity to you. So this section 60 says, where there is a transfer of income by a person means here Mr. A to another means Mrs. A, without the transfer of the asset from which the income arises shall be included in the total income of transferor, whether such income is revocable or not. Here They are telling that whatever amount he is diverting should be clubbed back with his income. Here he is the transferor, she is the transferee. So here there is transfer of income without the transfer of the asset, that is house property is not transferred in the name of Mrs. A. So it will be clubbed back and he is liable to pay the tax. So basically, if there is transfer of income without the transfer of the asset, the person transferring, that is transferor, is liable to pay the tax. So this is what was section 60 we have discussed. And next we will discuss about section 61. Here we will be talking about revocable transfer. First I will tell there are two situations which will cover under section 61. That is, see here what happened in section 60 is like just there was the transfer of the income, but this map, so the man has come with a new formula. Okay, the government is saying that I should also transfer the property and also transfer the income. If I do satisfy both the condition, then the income will not be added back should not be clubbed back with my incomes. Okay, so suppose you let's take again here Mr. A and consider it as Mrs. A. Okay, so last case we saw that Mr. A transferred just the income, so he becomes liable. So now he is coming with the new idea of escaping from the payment of the tax, because the government has made the provision that there must be transfer of income as well as the property. So here what he does is he also transfer the income and property, both the things like ownership also and income also he is giving to Mrs. A. Okay, but what he does here again to escape from the payment of the tax, that he makes an agreement. Okay, he just make a deed in which he write that the property shall be reverted to Mr. A after 6 years. That means now we have just seen that in last case we have seen like revocable or not. So now I'll explain you what is revocable, because this section deals with revocation of asset. So what revocation is? This is what is revocation. Once you transfer the asset to someone, okay, but you put a condition that throughout the lifetime of the transferee to whom you are transferring the asset will be reverted back to you, should be returned back to you. Here that is what he is giving a clause in his agreement, that the property whatever he is transferring to Mrs. A should come back to him after 6 years. So in any situation when there is a transfer of asset and property, but if it is revocable transfer, then he has to whatever amount he is diverting will be again added back to Mr. A. So what is happening? See, in this case, section 60, he is trying to escape from the payment of the tax by diverting only the income. Okay, then government says no, you cannot do this because you are not transferring the ownership. Okay, so this person again comes up with the new thing. Okay, the government is saying if I transfer the ownership as well as the income, then I no need to pay the tax. So what this person does now, he's transferring both of the things, but he's over smart, so he's just making a clause that it will be coming back. Again the government is active and it has made another provision, that is section 61, in which he is telling if any such condition is put forward, then again this whatever the amount is being diverted should be added back, that is clubbed back with the income of the person transferring, that should be clubbed back with the transferor. Okay, so this person fails to escape from the payment of the tax. So I'll read what is exactly section 61, where there is a revocable transfer of asset by a person to an another, that is here by a person means transferor to another means transferee. Any income arising from such asset shall be included in the total income of the transferor. Mr. A is the transferor. Again, if he is transferring income and property but revocable, because it is said to be revocable. Why? Because there is a condition given that it will be reverted back to Mr. A. So in that case also government come up with the new idea that no, you cannot escape from this way also. So Mr. A is again made liable to pay the tax. Okay, he cannot escape. Now I will explain about what is revocation. So basically, revocation for that, the section 63, as per section 63, a transfer for the purpose of section 60, 61, 62 shall be deemed to be revocable if it contains any provision for the transfer directly or indirectly of the whole or a part of the income or the asset to the transferor during the lifetime of the beneficiary or the transferee. So now only I explained that Mr. A has put a clause saying that this will be reverted back. So see, Mrs. A is still alive. Okay, she will be alive after 6 years also. Okay, it is assumed before she is dead. It should not be reverted back to Mr. A. But if any such condition is given that before her life ends, if it is reverted, in such a case, this deal is considered as a revocable. The transfer of the asset is considered revocable. It gives the transferor a right to reassume power. So also, like if a person is like Mr. A, he is still having, even though he has transferred the asset, he is still having the power over the asset he has transferred, that after 6 years it will be his property, right? So he is reassuming the power. Okay, so when a person, there is a condition when there is a transfer of ownership as well as the income, but there is a condition that it will be reverted back, or the person will have a power over it in the lifetime of the beneficiary. In such a case, it is considered as a revocable transfer. Okay, so here you have to keep in mind that if there is any condition that it will be reverted back, that means it should be clubbed back with the income of the transferor. All right, now next section we are going to study about section 64. Section 64 is very important section. Here basically most of the question is asked from this section, that is transfer to spouse, where there is a where the transferor is having a substantial interest in the business. Okay, so here basically this section is talking about a person who's working in a company. Suppose you take Mr. X. Okay, first I will explain what is substantial interest. Any person holding any share, debenture, or any things which gives him any right in the company is known as substantial interest. So here Mr. X is there. He is Mr. X and Mr. Y are two partners, business partner. Mr. X is contributing 30% of the capital, whereas Mr. Y is contributing 70% of the capital. That means Mr. X is having substantial interest in the business as he is a business partner and holding some shares. Okay, so what happens, Mr. X and Y, they appoint a MBA person. Okay, a person who has done MBA and giving him salary 10,000 per month. Okay, and Mr. X and Mr. Y also appoint Mrs. X and they are giving her 50,000 per month. She is just 10th pass, matric pass. Okay, and she is the manager. Okay, which is not possible. You cannot give a person that in every business there is a category defined, like if you hold this degree, particular degree, this should be your pay scale. Okay, if anybody is giving more than that, when the auditor come in a business, he question and he say that no, these expenditures are unnecessary and they do not allow such expenditure and do not allow the business to escape from the payment of the genuine amount of the income tax. What is happening here is Mr. X, simply just because Mrs. X is his wife, so what he does is he is just appointing her as a manager, and then he's making a huge payment, 50,000 payment to her, so that he can show his income less and he can easily escape. So in such a case, whatever amount he's diverting, okay, where the wife is not having the required qualification. Okay, if she is having a required qualification and the amount of 50,000 is given to her, then fine, we no need to club back the income transferred to Mr. X. Okay, with the Mr. X income. But if she is not having the required skill, that is professional qualification or technical skill, in such a case it will be clubbed back with Mr. X. And here what you have to keep in mind is that any of this partner, that is spouse means for husband wife will be spouse, and for wife husband will be spouse. So here you have to keep in mind is that any one of them should have a substantial interest in the business, and if they are having substantial interest, in such a case what will happen is like if having substantial interest and he is appointing transferring some amount to his wife, okay, then in such a case if the wife is having that skill, then you no need to add, but if she is not having skill, then you have to add whatever income is transferred.